Hello, everyone. Pam DuBois with Dream Real Estate TV. And today I'm so excited and grateful to have with me our special guest, Amanda Dahl with Keller Williams. And I love your name, Amanda. I love that name, Amanda Dahl. You're just a beautiful person inside and out. And thank you so much for being with us. First, I'd like you to share a little bit about Amanda. Tell us a little bit about Amanda.
Yeah, so thank you for the compliment, by the way. I am in Tampa Bay, Florida. I currently own a coaching and consulting company, and that's what I do. I coach and consult real estate agents across the country on how to build their businesses, something that's lacking in our industry for sure. Yet I got into real estate in 2015, and I feel like it's been so many more than just 7 years because I've accomplished so much. I've made some amazing connections. I've been able to really experience like a whole lot in real estate. I think I did it a lot faster than some people do. And so, yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
Definitely. Yeah. In 7 years, my goodness. Wow. You're doing so much. So what do you attribute your biggest success to in real estate?
So when I got in 2015, so let me back up. My background is hotel and hospitality management. So when I moved from a small town in Alabama to Tampa back in 2010, and I was kind of over that. So I had worked with a startup company for a little bit. I left the hotel business, worked with a startup for a little bit, and I just found myself constantly hitting this like ceiling, like there's nowhere else to go, right? I'd grown the corporate ladder very quickly with hotels. Then I started working with a startup company, and it was like there was nowhere else to go. And I was like, man, this can't be my whole life, right? And so I started looking for on Craigslist for job opportunities here in the Tampa Bay area. And I answered a Craigslist ad is actually how I got in real estate. And I came in as an executive assistant to a real estate agent who wanted to build a large real estate team. And he was just in the beginning phases of that. And so I got licensed. I got my real estate license in Florida 6 months in. And over the course of 6.5 years, I really went from executive assistant to CEO of that real estate team. And then I left the team in August of last year. So I've done it all. And I would say, whether it be in hotel and hospitality management, or it be in the startup that I worked with, or the real estate team, I think really that coming in at the entry level or base level, so to speak, and working my way up, I mean, they just don't teach that in school, right? You can't get that experience. So I would say because I came in at the ground level and I was able to work my way up through the different levels of each one of the companies that I worked for, I think that's what's made me really successful because I understand it. And quite honestly, I figured out what I didn't like just as much as I figured out what I did like. So
So one of the things that I've noticed with you and your business is your videos. You have some awesome videos out there, and you're actually very consistent with doing your videos. What are your thoughts and your hints, or what can you let a new agent know that is actually maybe scared or maybe fearful of not doing videos right now?
Such a great question. I was that person. So just know that I'm coming from my heart when I say that, because I totally understand where you're sitting. And for so many years, I did it for somebody else. My team owner on the real estate team that I was on, he was the one in front of the camera. So I knew videos very well. I knew what would be great to do, yet I was never the one in front of them. And then when I launched my company at the end of last year, essentially, I was like, I got to get out in front of these cameras. And we all have that, right? That we're our biggest critic, and my hair doesn't look right, or I said the wrong thing. And what I would say about the videos is just exactly what you opened up with, and that was the consistency, right? I know some people who put out 3 and 4 videos a week. You won't see that from me. You'll see like 1 a week, maybe 2. And it's because it was very important for me when taking on this video challenge to be consistent. So I knew that there were going to be days where I didn't feel like myself. I knew there were going to be days when I didn't like the way my hair looked or my face looked, or I didn't like what I said. And yet the consistency piece is it. When you start to build, like when people start to see your stuff, they're expecting stuff from you. And so consistency was key in my opinion. And then, really just embracing the fact that I just have to be myself. And
Yeah.
sometimes that comes out in the wrong words. And sometimes that comes out with me not feeling like my best. And that's truly authentically me. So I would say get over it and get in front of the camera as quickly as possible. And as you start to graduate through the process, you'll be like, oh, I can see the progress, right? I can see I'm
Right.
getting better.
Right. It's transparency, right? Transparency. Yeah.
Mhm.
Talk to us about content as far as videos. What are your thoughts on that?
I'll be completely honest with you. For me, this is something that I struggled with. I am very much business minded. And
Yeah.
so that relatable piece, I never felt like I had that. Like I could spit business to you all day long. You want stats, you want numbers, you want different tactics on how to run a business, how to build a business, how to grow a business. I could give it to you all day long. And yet for those of you that are familiar with what the DISC profile is, I'm a
Yeah.
DI on the charts, and my
Yeah.
D is like a 98. So I'm very much bullet pointy and just give it to you straight. And that's not relatable to a lot of people. And
Yeah.
so for me, what I would say is the content piece was hard for me because I kept giving these business tactics or these business ideas, and yet it was very dry. And so I had to think to myself, like, how do I spice this up? How do I make myself relatable? So I'll be honest with you. The first thing I did was I went to my audience. And I'm like, hey, and I did this with a number of things. I'm actually getting ready to launch a podcast as well. And I said,
Yeah.
hey, if you were going to listen to me on a podcast, what would you love to hear me talk? Would you listen to me first and foremost? And what would you love for me to talk about? And my audience told me. So same thing with the videos. If I was going to do a video about something, what would you listen to? And ask them the question. And I promise they will give you feedback. And there's your whole month of content.
Yeah, that's such a great idea, is asking your audience, because that's really what you're contributing to your audience, right? So that's incredible. Um, Testimonials and things like that. Are you currently doing testimonials for with your clients as far as videos?
So I get them all the time, and I haven't been capturing them properly. So if you look on my website, I've captured some testimonials.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, again, I just launched my business at the end of last year. So getting my Google My Business page up and running, and then getting people to go there and leave reviews. I mean, it can feel challenging, and it's something that I'm constantly doing. So yes, the answer is yes, I'm getting testimonials. No way am I getting them in the fashion that I would like to, or how many I would like to. Yet it is a work in progress for sure.
Yeah, and that's really all of us, right? We're all works in progress. I mean, that's kind of the way it is. We're never at that point where we're done. We're always in progress of doing whatever we need to do. So one of the questions that I wanted to ask you, and you've done so well, and especially the last couple of years, and you're saying you launched your business in the last couple of years, and we've got COVID going on, and there are a lot of real estate agents out there that are like in the stuck mode because of the fact of COVID and not being able to do as much as they were before. What is the one thing, the advice? Well, what is the advice that you can give the agents out there that's in that stuck mode?
This is a very interesting question, and I feel like it's been the topic of almost every conversation I've been in lately, because I know we feel it. And the reality of the situation is, my fear is this, that there's a lot of people that are in real estate currently that have been in real estate for maybe the last 5 to 7 years. And it was pretty easy. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
We didn't have to work too hard. Then we go through a pandemic, and then the market just completely goes wonk. And now, I'm sure you hear it all the time, right? There's no inventory. And even if people did want to sell, where are they going to move? And, now the latest buzz is interest rates are going to go up. And so there's so many things that are happening that it can feel completely overwhelming. And agents are just like, which way is up? And here's what I would say. Time on task over time. I know when things like this happen, the first thing we think is, oh, what do I have to do? Like, what's the new thing I have to do? What's the new thing I have to adopt? And I am always about the basics. Now, we may have to do more of the basics. 2 years ago, if you were lead generating for buyers or sellers, you may have only needed to talk to 20 people in order to set an appointment. Today, it might be 40 people. So it's not a different activity. It's just more of that activity given the conditions that we're in. So that's what I would say is, I know when we get stuck, we automatically go to what's the next thing because we're not getting that instant gratification or something has changed. And I would say it always boils down to 2 things. It's either skill or activity. So if you're someone who feels like you are doing the activities, Amanda, I'm doing the activities every day, I'm calling from sunup to sundown, then I would ask you, what's your skill level? And maybe we need to up that, right? Maybe we don't know how to handle the current objections in the market that we're getting, or maybe we don't know how to qualify people the best that we can, or maybe we're not very good at converting. So I would ask, what's your skill level? If you told me though, Amanda, I'm a rock star, like I can close, I know that I can handle objections, then I would ask you, well, what's your activity level? Because clearly you're not talking to enough people, no matter how great your skill is. So it all boils down to skill and activity. So stay with the basics, don't lose sight of those, and just analyze what it is that you're doing. Is it a skill set that I need to adopt or improve, or like literally bring on all together because I don't even have that skill set, or is it my activities?
Yeah, I love that. And stay with the basics. And that's so important, no, don't overthink it, as far as real estate. So where do you see the market going right now? Because I know, like, let's talk forbearance. They just got away with that, right? So all those people that actually had that no longer have that. Where do you see the market going, the real estate market going?
This is such an interesting question. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, we can't get any hotter than this. We're going to have a huge shift. The market's going to crash. It's not going to crash. Are interest rates going to rise? They are. And are they still going to be at historically low rates? Absolutely. So where they were a 2.7, 2.8, 2.9, we might see them rise to a 3.4, 3.5. So yes, they will rise. And it's still going to be historically low, first and foremost. And it depends also where you're at. I'm in Tampa Bay, and you talk about something that's on fire. I mean, we've got over 800 people moving here a day. It's crazy. Wow. So when you're talking here in this area, there is a whole lot of new build going up. Resale is still over asking, 50, 60, 70 over asking, and we're getting multiple offers. And now people are getting creative in the ways in which that they're actually buying and selling real estate. We've got a lot of situations where a buyer will win a bid on a house and they're okay literally leasing it back to the seller for 3 months or 4 months so that they can get into a house. And so that's creating some inventory for us. So we have had a little bit of a slowdown. My prediction is that we're going to see pretty much the same trend that we have been seeing for the last 12 to 14 months through, I would say, probably the summer. And then summer, when interest rates have kicked up a little bit, and that means that buyers have a little bit less of buying power than they did before. I think that we're slowly going to start to see it slow after that. And by 23, it's going to feel a lot better than it does today. In my area, that's my prediction.
That's great. Wow. And that's a great thought about the interest rates. I mean, think about the interest rates below 3%, right? I remember when we bought our first home, we were 12.5%, That
was like 70, like 60s, the 70s was like 12%, 80s was like, or no, 70s was like 8%, 80s was like 12%. Yeah, it's crazy.
We bought. Yeah, it was, 1985. And 12.5%. And we were excited about the 12.5% because before that, it was like in the 17%, in the 70s, I think it was 17% or something like that back then. But
it's very interesting too, I'll tell you, because the people that are buying nowadays, like the generation today that's in that age range, like they're not getting married as quickly. They're not having families as quickly. They're not buying as quickly. And there are so many opportunities out there now. And entrepreneurship is at an all-time high, right? People starting their own businesses and being entrepreneurs as well. And so it's giving them these different freedoms, and it's causing them to have these different timelines. I mean, I know a group of people that are in their late 20s and they're like, you know what? Let's just get a big house and we'll all have a room. And that's what they're doing. So they're they're joint ventures for them. So it's different than it has been before. And I can tell you, this generation is not going to be pressured into buying anything. They'll rent or they'll partner up and do like a joint venture in a house or something. We're totally seeing that. So it's different than it was before. That's for sure.
Yeah. It's a completely different mindset, you stated. Yeah. So any other information that you can give realtors out there, actually, like a brand new realtor that's getting in the business, what should they do?
I'll tell you, I actually was turned on, and I have to thank my friend Juan Alcala. So I don't know if he's even in your ecosystem or if he would see this. I got to tell him thank you so much. He's an agent not only here in Tampa, yet he also has a team in Michigan. And he turned me on to this book, Sold. And it's by the author is David Green, one of the Bigger Pockets podcast hosts. Yeah. Oh my goodness. It is literally the new agent handbook guide. Every new agent should get this. If I'm with Keller Williams. And so for me, I'm huge on the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, right? That's been like my Bible when it comes to real estate. I give these out as gifts. I can quote page numbers, and this is still very much foundational. And I will tell you that Sold is like, it's my new red book now. It breaks everything down for a new agent. It walks you through exactly what the thoughts that you're having, why you're experiencing these things, what you should be thinking about. And it breaks it down in a way that nobody has done before. And so I think that it should be a requirement. You get your real estate license, you read the book Sold. So that would be my one piece of advice to you. Go get the book on Amazon. I think it was $12, and it is the best read. I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited to talk to my clients about it. It's been great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it and check it out. So yeah, my goodness, she has been giving us so many nuggets and so much great information, you guys. I am so grateful to have her on here, about the market, about the videos, about getting unstuck, all these things that we're actually going through right now. And in our new digital world out there, videos, that's where it's at, you guys. If you're not doing it, yeah, you really need to do it and get out there and do it. And you're amazing with your videos. I love your videos. So I appreciate you so much on this time. Please share with us your contact information and any other information you'd like to share with us.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for having me. I know we've been trying to connect for a while now, so thank you. I appreciate you. You can find me Instagram at the Amanda Dahl. That's probably where I'm the most active. Yeah. You can also go to my website, amandadahlconsulting.com, if you want to get in touch with me.
Okay. And what about the new podcast that's coming out? Is that out yet?
It is not. So everything is very tight for right now. And there's that a little bit of fear. As soon as I give a date and as soon as I give a name, people are going to be crazy. So it was supposed to be at the end of this month, and some things came up. So I'm hoping that we launch at the end of next month, because I'm still working on, I wanted to have some interviews already done before I went ahead and launched. So by the end of February, I will definitely send you information about that though, once I release some of it. It's been under wraps this far though.
We look forward to it. And again, thank you so much, Amanda. Check out her website, check out her Instagram, because she's very much always on Instagram, very consistent with her post on there, and great information. And we are so grateful to have you. Thank you. And everyone, check us out, Dream Real Estate TV, our YouTube channel, and be blessed, you guys, and stay safe.